Hey everyone, it's me, Jen, and I'm nothing if not intense. Is this working? I don't know what is going on here. I can't see my chat. And getting a little frustrated. Oops, where did it go? Oh my gosh. Don't do this. Getting a little frustrated. Oops, where did it go? Oh my gosh. Oh, okay. Don't do this. Getting a little frustrated. Oops, where did it go? I don't know why I'm getting all this feedback. Okay. Don't do this. I don't know why I'm getting all this feedback. Okay. Oh. Okay. Can you hear me now? Okay. Can you guys hear me now? I turned my volume down. Okay, cool. Oh, gotcha. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry, you guys. But hey, everybody. Wow, this is a trip. So I have no mods, so it's up to you guys to police yourself. So just be cool. I'm cool. I'm pretty laid back and easygoing. I don't mind some healthy debate. So I don't even know why when I was at work earlier today, I decided that I wanted to do this because now I'm like, I don't know. So, and I had ideas. I knew what I wanted to talk about, and now I can't remember because I had such a hard time getting this live stream up. So I feel like a dirt right now. Anyway, any ideas? What do you guys want to talk about? Hi, Angela. Hi, Matt. Hi, point A to point Z. Wow, that's a little different than point A to point B, but Wild Eagle, you are such a sweetheart. Chase, 1005. Truth Bomb, Betty Page. Wow, you guys are awesome. Hey, Blake, how's it going, dude? Oh, Mary Lou, yes. I'm sure that's what I was thinking this afternoon. Mary Lou. Hey, TB, thank you. Oh my gosh, this is nerve-wracking, you guys. Hey, Farmer, John Boy. So, Mary Lou, anybody that's been on my channel, I think, knows that I have done, hey, Charles, a lot of work on Mary Lou. And I can get Paladin. Hey, buddy. Great to see you. Gosh, I'm so excited, you guys. I can't even believe this. Am I doing this right now? I am doing this. Wow. Anyway, I have done extensive work on Mary Lou. And whether you believe me or not, she was there that night. And so I think every day, everybody's doing so much work on this, and there's a lot of people doing a lot of great work. However, when I just hear people regurgitating the Mary Lou Danley narrative, it drives me insane, and I get pissy. I know I do. I get pissy about it because in my mind, how can anybody figure out anything when they have this very important piece of it that they haven't looked at, or they're just taking the narrative. They're just using the narrative for that. So I just feel like, man, you can't do anything without knowing or without having that important fact correct. So that's why I get really pissy about it. Number one, 134 was not in her name. No way. It's in the warrants. No, it was not in her name. So that's a huge one. And I am not a professional investigator by any means. And I think everybody probably knows that. And so the people that are out there that do tout themselves as experts and true investigators, when I hear them just regurgitate that Mary Lou narrative, pretty much I'm like, you know what? I really don't put a lot of stock in anything else you have to say, because you've got that very important thing wrong. And I'm trying to look at comments. And there was a good one, something about why Eric, I don't know, Eric, but you know what? I really don't want this to be about Eric Paddock, about Mike Turber, because guess what? I've had enough of that. I mean, that seems to be the dominant information right now, or the dominant stuff that we're seeing. And frankly, I'm tired of it. I could give a shit less. So Mary Lou is very important. Mary Lou, whoever you are, Casco, I don't know. You don't need to talk like that. You're probably a sock accountant. You can suck it, buddy. Yeah, the FBI report, no motive, no ballistics, nothing. And honestly, I have felt, yes, bodies, it's my first time, so I'm probably horrible and I apologize, but I will get better. But the FBI report, I never was sitting here waiting for the FBI report, because I knew that it was going to be a POS. And it really actually exceeded my expectations in that regard. So I never was waiting for anything from them. However, there's another important part of the puzzle, I think, is they can get up there on TV all day long and say that the LVMPD was the primary office on the case, and the FBI were just assisting. That is complete bullshit. And I will try to go back up and see Matt's comment. They were the lead. No, who did all the work? What did the final report reference? The FBI, the FBI, the FBI. You cannot tell me that they weren't the lead in that investigation. Now, why wouldn't they want us to know that? Because there's ramifications to that for them being the lead. And they don't want to scare people, because they don't want to lose the money, the tourism money. And people think that's kind of stupid, but it's not, because that is, Howie's here. Hey, Howie. And plain and simple truth, I love you guys. But that is Las Vegas. That is the whole state of Nevada. Everything rides on that money that they on tourism. The whole state is built on tourism. And if they don't have that, they don't have anything. And a lot of people lose a lot of money. So that is hugely, hugely important. So, oh my gosh, I am like all over the place here. Anyway, thank you, Pastor Mo. Thank you. So back to Mary Lou. And now I'm going to run and get a drink, but the kitchen's really close, so it'll just take me a second. Okay, Mary Lou. again, I think she is extremely important to this whole thing. And without getting her right, really nothing else is going to be right. So she's key in this, and she was there that night. Will we ever see a picture of her being detained? Will we ever see body camera footage of that? Probably not. There may be some that exists, depending on the officer that got her at the Chevron station, but they're not going to let us see that. They'd be idiots if they did that, because they played it off as she wasn't there. But she was, and when she was detained, she was driving the van. So that's another huge problem that I've been having lately, is there's a lot of information being put out about the van and about the explosives. And I'm sorry, but there's no way that can be right, because she was the last one to drive the van when it came back to the hotel that morning. And then she left in the van that night. So in my mind, that scenario cannot be correct. And I am not bad mouthing any, I'm just not, but I cannot subscribe to that theory of the explosives and the van, because that's not how things went down with the van. Not at all. So I don't know how to get rid of people. I'd like to get rid of. And then, I knew about Danley. I mean, I did all that a year ago, way before we had the luxury of any body-worn camera to hear what any officers are saying or anything like that. So I feel super strong about that. And another thing that I should have put in part 6 is, if you guys remember, the warrant that the FIT officer did, oh gosh, what's his name? The one that said that, officers saw Paddock shoot himself, which is another thing, but I don't want to. Dang it. Who are these stupid people on this chat? But that's for another live. But anyway, we need to start looking at timing. Timing on this stuff is hugely important also. So when they were tracking Danley down, no, it was, I'm getting to it. I've got it right here in my binder. When they were picking up Mary Lou, that was at a little bit after 3 a.m., like 3:02 a.m. And that's important. So when McDonald, it was Officer McDonald, when he calls in to start getting the warrants, guess what time that is? Take a guess. 3:02 a.m. Okay. Is that just a coincidence? Oh, okay. I've got to get why am I not seeing that? I don't know if I'm watching in the right view to do that. Okay. I was in my control room, but now it's like I'm watching like from your guys' view, I think. So I don't know how to get to my control room, or I would hand out a wrench. But you guys, some of those people they're just idiots. It's just sock accounts, and I'm sick of that shit too. But anyway, so let's get back to Officer McDonald, because this is super, super important. The timing of all this. So how is it that right around 3 a.m., 3:02 a.m. is when they're detaining her at the Chevron station. And coincidentally, McDonald is calling the judge to get the search warrant for the hotel room and for the van and for his home in Mesquite. Well, that's just a coincidence now, isn't it? So he gets those warrants approved at, I believe, 3:14 a.m., or that's when the call ends. And then I don't know if you guys caught it in part 6 of the Danley Deep Dive, but they detain her at a little bit after 2. At about 3:28, an officer radios into the control room and says, hey, there's going to be a silver van coming through, on Trop and Koval and blah, 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 full of FBI personnel. Okay, so do the FBI really drive around in silver vans? Not usually. It's usually like black SUVs. But there's going to be this silver van. And I can only think in my head that is Paddock's van. They're getting it back because that van had to get back to the hotel. So they're getting it back to the hotel. And guess what time they start searching the van. When things start, there's officers that are being called to go start the van. 3:30 a.m. Now, is that just a coincidence? I don't think so. Because they could have, if that van was on the second floor in that parking garage, they could have started that shit 3 hours before that. At least. There was plenty of officers around. So again, it's things like that too that you have to look at. You have to look at the timing of these things. No matter, you might think it's trivial, but it's not, because it all lines up. It all lines up perfectly. Now, what I will say is I didn't realize this until, what day was it? Sunday, I think? Sunday or Monday. No, it was Sunday. That, because I always thought that they detained her at a little bit after 2. They're down on the boulevard or on Mandalay Bay and Luxor Road at 3:45 a.m. That's when the officer's calling in, asking for help. Get somebody down here. We need some help. Well, then all of a sudden there's the transmission at a little bit after 4 a.m. that an Asian female ran from them in the parking garage. So I, in my mind, before any body-worn camera came out, thought that she had gotten away from them briefly and they took her back into custody again. Now, I may be wrong on that. And I should have addressed this a long time ago when the body-worn camera came out. But I don't know exactly what was going on in my head at that time. But in my head, I was like, well, okay, so that lady wasn't her, but I know they already have her. So it wasn't that big of a deal for me, but I didn't look at it from your guys' viewpoints, because I know what I know. So that didn't alter what I knew, but I should have addressed it, and I will be addressing it soon in a video. So anyway, so whether she got away for a few or not doesn't change the fact that they already had her at 3:45 a.m. And I believe they got her into a hotel room. They got her up in somewhere, probably on the 32nd floor. And they released her to the FBI. And that's when the Mary Lou memory hole began. They needed our help. They needed everybody's help, before. So that's why they put her name out there. But once they got her, then they're like, okay, you guys can forget that. Forget it. Oh, she was out of the country, blah, blah, blah. And that's how they do that. And that's how they work. And it's really, really shitty what they did to us. And yeah, I don't know with the van. I mean, okay, number one, if I'm right, and I believe I am, but I can't be 100%. Oh, let's do it. It's close to a fact, whatever that means. But number one, I don't think Mary Lou would be driving around in the van if it had all that shit in there. Number two, I don't think that they would break a window if there was any chance of anything like that being in there. But I could be wrong. I could be wrong, but I highly, highly doubt it. The other thing is, though, is Mary Lou's vehicle was in Vegas also. And then there's a third vehicle. So there is a couple of different ways or places that stuff could have been around, because they didn't take the robots into, they didn't have the robot at Mandalay Bay for the van, as far as I know. The robots were down at the Luxor with the Audi SUV, but they did not deploy the robot at Mandalay Bay, as far as I know. Thanks for being here, Matt. I appreciate it. I know that this has been like disjointed, and I apologize, but I will get better. Because at 3:30, that's when, it's in I have the statement and I don't have the information right offhand, but it was, they had a dog go by a van like at around 2 or something, but that wasn't the van. I mean, that wasn't the van. And so this whole bomb thing and all that hype just is not flying with me. And that's, because I know that the van part of it is probably not possible because Mary Lou had the van. Mary Lou was driving that van. Mary Lou that morning had the van. There's the valet ticket in her name. And the bag from that store, it's not called Angel, it's called Angle, actually. I did some research on it. I think breaking a window would be a little bit more, it'd be worse to break the window than just to unlock the doors, in my mind. But I'm no bomb expert, but I don't know. Scumbag, whoever you are a scumbag. So get off my channel, dude. Next time I'll be a little bit more prepared, maybe, but ignore, you guys, just ignore that crap. It's just Jessica B, I don't know. That could be a possibility. Actually, I have never thought of that. I have never thought of that. That could be, maybe they did take a little shot at that van, and that's why that back window's like that. But because for a long time, I had never seen, when I look at the pictures and the reports, I'm like, I can't see where there is a window broken. Tell me where is it? I don't see any glass on the ground there in the parking lot. I'm like, did they, but this is Las Vegas. It's Bizarro World. Did they clean everything up? What the hell is going on? And from point A to point Z, I think she did need that wheelchair because they took her down. They took her down at the Chevron station. The officer says she's being a little uncompliant, but she's still walking. Hint, hint, like we just had to, we had a tussle. And then if she possibly escaped a second time and they had to do that again, yeah, you're going to be hurting. Plus, they flew her to the Philippines and back within, a 38 hour, it's like a 15 to 18 hour flight. So if you're doing that back to back, you're not going to be feeling very good. You are not going to be feeling very good. So, more than likely she did need that wheelchair. She did need that wheelchair. It wasn't for a diversion. And if she wasn't feeling good, she had many reasons not to be feeling good. Good question, Farmer. The ATF were virtually non-existent in my mind. They didn't do shit. The ATF was, the DEA had more presence there than the ATF. Go figure. What's that all about? So it's just, yes, the towing image, I had not seen that until it was like a couple weeks ago was the first time I had seen that. So what they had, DEA was at the Mandalay Bay. They were in there clearing floors. They had a representative at the Department Operations Center, which is where all the bigwigs, are stationed, running the whole show. The DEA was there. The DEA, I caught him on body-worn camera last week, but the one officer says, yeah, the DEA is here clearing floors, and that was like at 4 a.m. Why is the DEA there? I mean, I think there's a reason. But the DEA had a much bigger presence than the ATF. So, and truth hurts. Can't go anywhere without your wheelchair, huh? Oh my gosh, my head hurts, you guys. This would have been much better if I could have just got it going the way it was supposed to in the beginning, because I lost my whole train of thought. Darn it. But those are the things that we need to be looking at. But if you just want to regurgitate the narrative of Mary Lou, expect to be called out by me, because I cannot sit back anymore and just let people, because it's not true. It is so not true. And originally, this is another thought process I have, is originally that first press conference was supposed to take place at like 12:30, 12:45. And it kept getting delayed. It didn't happen until 1:30. Oh, thank you, Charles. Thank you so much. I appreciate you being on here. Bye. But I think they thought she was heading to Mesquite. And Mesquite is what, an 80-mile drive? Mesquite's going to take you an hour and 15, whatever. They're sending officers there. They alerted Mesquite police. They're watching the house. I think they thought that Mary Lou was heading to the house in Mesquite. They're going to nab her there, and nobody would be the wiser. Nobody would be the wiser. But that didn't happen, because she didn't go to the house in Mesquite. They didn't find her. So at 1:30, finally, they had to come out and put her information out there, because they needed our help, or your guys's, whoever's in Las Vegas, they needed your help in finding her. They needed to get her. They needed to get her under their control. She's out there. She's a loose cannon. She knows what happened. So, and that's another thing that just irks the hell out of me. Like, who is the one person in this world that probably knows the most? Mary Lou Danley. And everybody's just like, oh, well, yeah, Mary Lou. No, it's not dirt to dirt. It is holy shit. She has never spoken in public. And the statement through her lawyer, screw that. Anybody could do that. I could put a statement out through a lawyer. That doesn't mean shit. She didn't face anybody. She didn't do anything like that. Never have we seen her face. Never have we heard her voice other than when she's down at Mandalay Bay and Luxor Drive screaming, I want to go home. I just want to go home. You bet your sweet ass that's Mary Lou. And so that's the only time we've heard from her. And she's whining that she wants to go home. And that's it. That's all we've ever gotten from her. The rest is bullshit. So, Wild Eagle, I don't know. I don't know who broke into the house. I would say probably not. It was probably not her. But another thing with her too is, and see, and I'm ruining all my future parts of my thing, but I don't care at this point. Right. Yes, Debbie. Yes, he says we have found her. We have found her. And then an hour or two later, well, oh, she's out of the country, but we've talked to her. But then McMahill is on the news and they're asking him about her. And he's like, you know, because it's all bullshit. They couldn't get their story straight. And Lombardo screwed the pooch when he said that they found her in the vehicles. But that goes back to them trying to calm the public. They wanted to calm the public. And you bet your sweet ass people knew that there was a woman they were looking for, obviously, because the one guy is like, well, is it safe to go back there yet? Have they caught that woman yet? So she wasn't arrested. I have never said she was arrested. She was detained at the Chevron on the corner of Dean Martin and Trop at about between 302 and 307 on 10-2. So no, people heard. Yes, that's right, Forey. Yes, they put Mary Lou's name out over the scanner. Then they put her name and her license plate out at the 1:30 press conference. Well, even before the 1:30 press conference, there were people that were, looking her up. Now, there were a couple people that were saying, hey, this is her address. This is the guy's, name that lives there, which they were saying Stephen Paddock. But somebody else got on the Gary Danley thing and really took that, somewhere where it shouldn't have went. Because it still looked like they were together kind of on her Facebook. Gary's still commenting and things like that. It was weird. And they had, she'd been with Paddock supposedly since 2013. She didn't get divorced from Gary until 2015. And then Gary's still acting like they're all, kumbaya in 2016. So I don't know what all that mess was about, but it's very strange. It's very strange. But they had her information. People knew that she was out there. And I lost my point. Darn it. But, so they ask everybody, they put be on the lookout for her, but they didn't do that. They didn't do that right away. Why didn't they do that right away? Why didn't they do that right away? Because they thought she was going to Mesquite. They're going to nab her there and make her shut up. And that was going to be the end of it. Who's going to, think about hearing her name one time over the scanner? There's a way to cover that up. That would have been really easy for them. But that's not the way it happened, unfortunately, for them, because she didn't go to the house in Mesquite. So that's when they had to readjust and put her name out there, really put it out there. And then when they got her, then it was like, oh, yep, forget about her, forget about her. They just wanted us to forget about her. I have no clue if she's cooperating, Did she ever cooperate? I don't know. No, there's none of that on body-worn camera. No, they're not going to have her on body-worn camera. Are you freaking kidding me? No. After they're saying she's out of the country and we see her on body-worn camera, I mean, they're stupid, but they're not that stupid. But there's officers saying, yeah, we've got her, they got her into custody. You know, she's there, they had her. It's on police scanner. Do they ever say her name? No, they never say her name. But who's the one that they were looking for? Who's the one that they were broadcasting all over the state of Nevada and Southern California? That's who they were looking for. It could have been more of a business relationship. Actually, when you read the statements of you read the questions that the officers are asking the employees at the hotels and stuff and their hosts, it's really weird questioning, like, did you see this more as like a business relationship or was it personal? Like, it was weird. Like, the detectives that were questioning them felt like it was they were going more in a business relationship direction versus, they're all in love and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's a good question. 1000750. I don't know. I Tumbleweed, I don't know if she is or not. I really don't. But when that whole Entellus thing broke, I mean, really, is somebody going to put down if they're an asset or they're actually an FBI agent, not somebody that just works in the office and in administrative part? Are they really going to put that shit on a loan application? I highly doubt it. So I don't know. I've been back and forth. One thing that I think about is Mary Lou Danley the one with the hard drives, I should say. And you heard me, drives, plural. There's not only one missing, there was two missing. There's two missing. Or there's one missing, there's two that they talked about, and there's another one that they don't want to talk about, or there's two missing. So, is that her insurance policy? I don't know. Is that why that house was broken into? They were looking for, I don't know. I don't think it was her that broke into the house in Mesquite, or whichever one was broke into. I can't remember right now, but you could be right, Cheryl. Yeah. So I think the reason they needed to get her so badly that night is because she knows what. She knows what the hell was going on. Farmer, you could be right. Don't you hate that when it happens? But I think that damn tannerite was for target practice. If you ask me, that might be a naive theory or idea, but I think it was for freaking target practice. That's what we use it for in Michigan. I mean, I don't know. So I don't think, but bottom line with that is I don't think that there was some elaborate plan to blow up the hotel. I just cannot subscribe to that at all. It's not there for me. There's no evidence, and the bellman and all that stuff. I can't do that. Ouija, enemy of the state. Yeah. And you're this. There's somebody else that mentioned enemy of the state. And I probably should go watch that again. But yeah, I think if you do a little bit of math, and I'm not a mathematical dick at all, but I could do this math. There were 4 computers within those 2 rooms, and they only ever tell us about 2. So in my head, that leaves two that we don't know about, which missing hard drive and missing hard drive, or missing hard drive and another one that they're just choosing not to tell us about. I don't know. So I've always thought that it was, and oh, no, now wait. This is another thing that makes me think that there's two missing hard drives, because when Eric, in the final report, in his interview or his little summary synopsis, when he's like, oh, well, maybe Steve did love us because the hard drives, he says plural, hard drives. He says plural too. And that's the first thing that I know. That's the thing that I noticed that kind of got me on that line of thinking. And then I went back and I started looking at how many computers, were described in the report, and then how many that we know about. And there's 4, and we've only heard about 2. So that means that there's 2 hard drives missing. I don't know. And I can't, the compound, and the whole thing too, with all that stuff that they supposedly found in the van, the way when they're at the press conference, and even on the scanner that morning, it's not until like 7:30, 8 o'clock in the morning when they're talking about the bags, and well, we found another bag. Oh, gee, we thought there was only this many, but there's really this many. Again, Las Vegas, bizarro world. This shit, I swear. So then at the press conference, it's all like, oh, it's real sketchy how they're describing it at that. I think it's at the 3 p.m. press conference, maybe. So that tells me right there that those bags and those materials were not found in the manner that they described to us, because they have tells. They really do. Anytime they're lying, like when Lombardo's lying, he flubs up his words. Well, he got better at that over time, I will say, but he's got some very, very prominent tells when he's lying. And then even in the writing style of these reports and things, pretty much anything that's in bold or footnoted is bullshit. It's the stuff that they, really want us to, they're really highlighting, they really need us to believe. It's usually the opposite. So it's a pretty simple system to figure out. But I don't know. Okay, I'm not been paying attention to my comments. I'm sorry. Give me some more ideas of what you want to talk about. And I hope you're feeling better, Ellen. Right, Vienna. There, if that was like that with those explosives, I just don't see it being enough to really do a lot. I don't know. Who's retracting their comments? I'm not seeing that. Cry Red, I don't think that's what was used in Oklahoma. I know that they were equating it to what was used at 9/11 or in the first World Trade Center bombing. I'm not sure, but they made some reference to the Twin Towers. That's you're right, farmer. Dead people cannot shoot a gun. They can't. They really can't shoot a gun. That's not something that they're capable. Oh, well, good, Ellen. I'm glad that I could very poorly do this tonight. I don't know. I feel bad, but I just man, I can't. I have to do something here. Farmer Angela would like you to do a video for some of us that want to learn about the 2 things found in the van and how much you would need for shooting practice and different things like that. That's a good idea, Angela. That's right, Ouija. That's right. You know, it's sad. I mean, I think about this shit every day. Like, there's so much crap, and but this is the problem right here, is I'm giving time to the bullshit that people are stirring up, and it takes away from the work that should be getting done. So I really don't want to talk about that. I want to try to keep my head down, put my blinders on, and keep going. Because it's not worth it, because that's exactly what they want us. That is their goal, to keep us off the work that we should be doing. And so for me personally, I'm going to try not to let that take up my time, because I get pissed at myself when I do, because I'm like, I just wasted, Vienna person, if you want to be on here, that's fine. And if you want to be in chat, that's fine. Put stuff that you can leave. Don't be a pussy and retract it, okay? If you're going to write something, write it and leave it and stand up for it. Don't retract it, okay? Jeez. Hate that. Dead men don't break windows and lose hard drives either. That is true, analyst. That is very true. Cheryl, yeah, Cheryl's got a point that I remember seeing this interview with Mary Lou's sister's ex-boyfriend, and it was on A Current Affair, and my first thought was, A Current Affair? That's still a show? But after I got through that, I was like, okay, let's see what John Lou has to say. Well, he said that oh, DDS. Oh. Huh. Well, that's interesting. I don't even know about all that crap. Like, that is so freaking lame. It's just lame. You lose your credibility when you do that. So, if that's the person you want to be, go for it. But, ugh. But anyway, John LeFleur, or whatever his name was like, yeah, he had like a gun room and he showed it off, and he, this, that, and the other thing. Okay, Vienna. Hey, like, dude, no offense. I'm just saying, I'm just keeping it real here. Like, if you want to comment, be my guest. But if I comment, I usually don't take them down, because it's what I mean, and it's how I feel, and I'm going to stand up for it, and I'm going to stand by it. So if you're not like that, then, there's nothing I can do about it, but I'm just telling you, that's how I feel. So have a good one. Thank you. But so, yeah, Eric, in my mind, Eric and Bruce, and then there's the elusive Patrick. None of those guys were close. None of those guys were close. I would say probably Eric was the closest to him, but they're not close. They weren't even close as in a family being close, like me and my brother are close or whatever. That's just not how that family worked. So, when they're saying this, that, and hey, KL, I'm so glad you're here. So when they're saying, this, that, and the other thing about him, especially Bruce hadn't talked to him in 10 years. In 10 years. How and why an old ass Paddock have at least 3 cell phones? Yeah, there was a bunch of cell phones. He was into something, and he was doing something, and I can't deny that. At first, I always thought he was a major patsy. And then, then once I continued researching and things, I'm like, oh, he was into something. He was doing something. Do I believe that he was the one that was shooting? No, I don't. I think whoever that person was on the floor in 135 had been deceased for quite a while. And like Farmer says, and you got to listen to the Farmer, John Boy, dead men can't shoot guns. So I don't think he didn't do that. But he was definitely, he was money laundering, drug running, something. He was into something with some nefarious people. What exactly that was, I don't know. I don't know. Hey, Paladin, isn't it past your bedtime, KL? Oh my gosh, you guys, this is like, I was so stressed just trying to figure out how to get into my own stupid live stream or in my own hangout that I got all off track. But so just, I guess what's really been bothering me and frustrating me lately is like I said, these things that we don't know, or you don't know unless you've really looked into it, about the van, about Mary Lou, about, all these things that are big pieces to anything else that we're going to figure out in this. So when you're just putting these statements out there and you're getting some of those facts wrong, then it doesn't bear a lot of weight with me. Where is Mary Lou now? I would say I believe she's in California with her daughter. Now, I swear I saw something a few weeks ago, and I think her daughter may have gotten divorced since the time of the shooting, and now I'm not sure, but that's certainly the way it looked to me. I don't know, if that's significant or not, but and I don't know if I'm correct in that, but I just thought that was like, But I do believe she's either in California with her daughter or she's in Reno. But I would say that she would have a hard time if she was in Reno. I mean, I don't know. I don't know. Yes, Pastor Mo, they don't have her on the no-fly list, but they did have her on a, gosh, what's it called? Something that, like, she just can't get on a plane and go somewhere. She is going to go through a hell of a lot more than you or I trying to get on that airplane. But they did not go as far as to say that she was on the no-fly list, but pretty close. Pretty close. Which, why? If she's all Miss Sweet and innocent, why the hell is she on some fly watch list or whatever? I mean, that seems a little silly. I'd be pissed, if I was completely innocent. But she's not completely innocent. I'm not saying that she shot anybody or anything like that, but I'm saying she knows. Yes, Dee Dee, yes. I think it's a watch list or something. She is on a flight watch list. Yeah, no, you're right, Paladin. Without ballistics, they couldn't get him for anything. And we've never, there wasn't anything that said, oh, yeah, he had all this gunpowder residue on him, blah, blah. Not a damn speck. We don't know. I mean, plus, again, in my mind, that's whoever's in 135. I don't know. It's just nuts. Yeah, Pastor, I know exactly. Yes, TSA watch list. Thank you for RE. So exactly whatever that is, why would she be on that if she was all sweet and innocent and had no idea and, I'm just a sweet old grandma. No, I don't think so. She is not as sweet and innocent as they made her. They made her out to be a victim. They started that when they started the memory hole, like, forget she was here and she was a victim. And that's bullshit. That is bullshit. because they really played up that, oh, she's just a sweet old little grandma, and no bullshit. That woman she's been around the block a few times, and she's not a stupid person. I don't believe she wasn't dumb. She knew the street game, or she knew how to live her life with, look at her two husbands that we know about, or possibly three. I don't even want to go there, but let's just say two for sure. And then Paddock's a little bit different, but her first husband was probably 20 years older than her. Gary was 20 years older than her. I mean, are you seeing a pattern here? I mean, was Gary like, oh my gosh, I wish I had his picture or a poster of him and I'd put it up on my wall? I don't think so. I mean, sorry, Gary, but, just not doing it for me. So what was was it the money? Was it because she was going to be able to be taking care of her and her daughter? Some of that. The question is, what was her role in the crime? That is a good question, but guess what? I mean, you have to establish that she was there first before, I mean, people still don't even want to believe that. So I don't know what her role was, other than she had a role in all this. The vibrators were technically back massagers. That I would say they were technically vibrators. I mean, I don't think they were back massagers. So yes, Marie, her daughter married into a very wealthy family. Yes. The Lintons, the Promega people, and that's all weird. Why hasn't she had her visa revoked or deported? I don't know, 10. I don't know. I don't know. She travels supposedly on a Australian passport. X stakeholder XX. Okay. Good to know. Good to know. Yeah, I don't know. I mean, again, I'm still at like, what does any of that stuff matter if people can't wrap their heads around that she was even there that night? So that's my whole thing. But Ellen, yes, I agree. What they omit tells us a lot, I think. Yes, Fori, I think she is a dual citizen of Australia and the USA, because she denounced her citizenship in the Philippines, I believe. I hope I'm saying that correctly. I'm not sure if I did or not. But yes, the omissions, all right, apology accepted. So just think about it, like, before you hit send, better hope you're going to stick to whatever you just said. And that's another thing that hopefully I can get to soon, is all the missing scanner traffic. There's nothing missing from the main convention center. No time frames. Now, they did put other channel stuff in there. Okay. But on the other channels, the fire department, Enterprise, North Las Vegas, Henderson, the highway patrol, there are blocks of time that are literally missing from when they put it on Broadcastify in the archives. And I don't know what's going on there. So that was kind of a roadmap to me, like, okay, this 5 minutes is missing on the fire department. Let me go to this different channel and see what was going on then. So it was kind of like a roadmap of important times for me. That's how I looked at it. And so that tells us a lot. And one of the biggest things is North Las Vegas and none other than the Boulder Rec or the Parks and Rec Department channel, which is usually just a weird sound, don't have much going on. There is a time period of about 9:40 to, well, North Las Vegas or Henderson, one of the two. It's a big chunk of time that's missing, like from 9:40 p.m. to 10:20, something like that, and about the same on another channel. So there definitely was something that was happening before 10:05. What that was, I don't know. And even in the control room, they're saying that it happened, something happened before then. So at about 9:30 in the log. So that's another thing that we need to look at. It's just sad that, you have to work so hard to pin one detail down to make sure that the rest of the stuff that you're finding is correct. Because if you're starting off wrong, then the rest of the stuff isn't gonna be correct. And there was other stuff going on for sure. So it's just one big cluster. But the thing that ticks me off is there's one or two people that are out there touting themselves as experts, and they're not looking at these things. So I have a problem with that. I have a serious problem with that. And if you don't have an answer, just say you don't have an answer. Don't fucking make one up to act like you have the answers to everything. I don't really like that. Why did MLD go through Manila Customs about 4+ hours before her scheduled flight time? Oh, I didn't even know she did that, DDS. What's up? Hey, James Brown. That's interesting, DDS. I don't know. How can you go through customs before you get there? How does that work? How does that work? How do you go through customs 4 hours before you get to the country where you have to go through customs at? Interesting. I don't know how she fits into the crime. I have never said that. All I know is she was here. And I mean, my first thing was just establishing that she was here. I don't know if we'll ever know. We certainly won't. We haven't heard from her. We have not heard one freaking word from her. So it just really ticks me off. What video did you post, Sleep? Is it the one when they're in the parking lot with the Metro guys at 4:15 or whatever? That's not her. That's not her. I don't know what video Sleep's talking about, but if it's what I'm thinking, if it's body worn camera from the 6th, and I was going to explain this in part 7, but the 6th floor was code for Mary Lou at a certain point. But what we see on body worn camera, obviously, that's not Mary Lou Danley that they're taking into custody. That was from the scanner traffic when I thought she had gotten away from them before a year, or I mean, not a year, but a long time before any body worn camera ever came out. So, but after that, they still reference her as the 6th floor. So there's something with the 6th floor, because throughout all the body worn camera, and even the scanner traffic, you never hear them anybody talking about clearing the 6th floor. You don't ever hear that. You never hear them saying clearing the 6th floor. Now, why that was code for her, I don't know. The only thing I can think of is in the report when they're talking about the Ogden, one of the last day that he was there. I know, JB, I know you saw the 6th floor footage, and I said that wasn't her. They had her at 3:45 a.m., so even though that wasn't her then, they still had her before that. Really? Well, I've never seen that. When was that supposed to be? You know, you guys can try to poo-poo me all you want, but wow. I don't know. But I wonder if you guys have ever, and there's so much, I have a lot more to come, that she was there. So, anyway, at the Ogden, the last day he was there, it talks a lot about the 6th floor. And that's the only connection I could ever make of why they would code name her as the 6th floor. And I don't know. That's the only thing. It was posted on October 5th. And it's blurry. It could be anybody. Okay. On any day. All right. Well, it's good to know, DDS. And thanks, Sleep, for posting that. I will check it out when we get done with this live stream, but I have not seen that. And I in no way have ever in any aspect of this tried to put anything out there that was misleading or not true. And if I did, and I have screwed the pooch a few times, believe me. And I will admit that, because sometimes you just like, oh man, boom, and you jump on it. And those are the times when I make my mistakes. If I don't pump the brakes, take a step back, and go back through the process to really look at everything. But so, like I said, I will be addressing that body worn camera footage, because, I know what you think, that wasn't her. I never said that was her once I saw the body worn camera. I was going off the scanner traffic. But again, in my mind, I knew, well, she was in custody before that. So even if that chick there on BWC isn't her, doesn't mean that she wasn't there. So, and then I just went about my whatever I was working on for that day, that week, that month, and didn't think about how you guys would view that, because to me, I was like, shit, and honestly, I didn't even really connect that to that specific scanner traffic until a few days ago. And I had a really tough day Sunday. I was like, oh my gosh, and I'm going back through that. I'm going back through those videos, and I will definitely be addressing that. That could be right, 10. I don't know, but she was released to the FBI. Metro detained her, but they released her to the FBI. No, I don't believe it was her that was in the crowd. No. And that's based on description. I mean, you're not going to mistake her for a 180-pound, person. She's a petite, although the tallest 4'11" chick I've ever seen in my life. Like I said, even in her pictures, she looks taller than 4'11". Informant for what? I don't know. I don't know if she was an informant. I don't know. But nobody will ever know if everybody just doesn't even think that she's relevant, right? Because who the hell's looking for anything? Oh, she was out of the country. Bullshit. So 111 4'11", 110 pounds, 111 pounds. Cry red. Give me a break. I thought it's 111, I believe. I could be wrong. Yeah, well, the Brianna, what's her name, said it was a girl and her boyfriend. So, and there's officer reports about taking those people out of, those people were real, I believe. There's reports on them. So that I don't think that girl was making that up. So that's where I'm at. I don't know how long we've been on. I'm getting tired, you guys. I appreciate it. And man, I hope I get better at this. Yes, X, stay cold, XX. She was born in some little town in the Philippines. And I don't know, because where she supposedly was, I mean, like I said, when I went to work on that Monday, I was like, oh, she wasn't involved. She was in Tokyo. That's what Lombardo told us at 5 a.m. Vegas time in that third press conference, or the second one, whatever it was. So I was like, she's in Tokyo. She had nothing to do with it. Poor little woman. Like, what the hell? I have a hard time with that Entellus thing. I mean, really, the timing of it was bullshit. You're not going to put that down. If that was out there, if that was true, why didn't we find that 10 months earlier? I mean, I just never put a lot of stock in that. Thank you, Pastor Mo. I appreciate it. Thanks, JCP. But it's tough for me, because I'm just this middle-aged woman, that has never done like anything like this before in my life. And I feel like overwhelmed sometimes with what I believe I have found. And that's through, you guys, I don't know how many hours. I couldn't even begin to count the number of hours that I listened to scanner traffic, 6 different channels. You can't see my dining room table. It's full of binders and notes and whiteboards. And it is like a scene out of a beautiful mind sometimes, and so it pisses me off when there's people out there that are saying things that I believe to be different because of not just somebody said that or that's what the police told us, but because of scanner traffic and this, that, and the other thing, and fitting those things together. And people just buy into it, and it's not cool. So that's where I'm coming from. And I don't discredit anybody that's, honestly looking at things. We all get things wrong sometimes. But when we realize that we do, we need to admit it. And I'm usually the first one to do that, except for this thing on Mary Lou, which I will be doing. And at the time when that whole thing came out, if I would have thought a little more about it, I would have done it then. Paddock gun runner, Danley FBI informant. Could you explain that? Gun run burned and Danley gets paid. Well, I don't think it was about the guns. I don't think it was a gun running thing. I mean, I just don't. I just don't think it was a gun running thing. So, good night, Ouija. Thanks for joining me. I appreciate it. So that's just kind of where I'm at. Yeah, it is insane, Ellen. I mean, it is insanity. And I'm embarrassed to say that before October 2nd of 2017, and well, even into the first week or so, I was like, oh, okay, yep, lone wolf shooter and do. I just drank the Kool-Aid. I was drinking that Kool-Aid. Man, that was, just drinking it without a thought. And I can't remember what was the first thing that was like, wait a minute, that doesn't seem right. That can't be right. And away I went. And I've been on this journey for what, 16 months now? My life is totally different. My life, well, thank goodness I don't have a life, and I still don't have a life. But the life that I didn't have before is different than the life that I don't have now, if that makes any sense. Hey, farmers, thanks. Hey, bodies. But so yeah, it's like I look at my life now and it's like it's totally different. It is totally different. Hey, Soul Surfer, what's up, Bo? Um, and so, my poor dog, he doesn't get the attention that he used to. And my house is not like a museum anymore. and those aren't, well, my dog, but the house thing isn't a bad thing, I guess. But it's just, you, I've put a lot, I put my heart and soul into this. And I think about it every day. There's not one day that goes by that I don't think about some aspect of this. Whatever this was, whoever's right, if there's anybody right at this point, if anybody knows fucking anything, everybody has been affected by this. Everybody's been affected by this. So it's tough. It's just a tough situation, no matter how you look at it. But I'll be goddamned if we don't try. We have to figure this out, and so it doesn't happen again. Whatever it was. I know part of what it was is a huge cover-up, with the FBI and our government, and that's bullshit. And I'm not going to have my son or my granddaughter be somewhere and all of a sudden get in the middle of something like this. Not if I can help it. So that's where I'm coming from. Like, all of us as American citizens, and oh my God, I can't even get started on the whole, don't even get me started on the politics shit, because I will go off, and I kind of equate, I don't know, we're not going to go there, but yes, Cry Red, the cover up is often worse than the crime. And I tell you what, that Aaron Rouse, I swear, if I ever saw him in person, I would kick him in the balls. I would go to jail. I don't care. I would do it. He is a creeper. He is, he just gives me the heebie-jeebies. Yes, you're right, Angela. Yeah. My YouTube channel I've had for years, and I had like some music and some videos on there, and that's it. Like, and now I just learned all this stuff pretty much by myself, and I've done the best that I can, and it's been a trip, that's for sure. It has been a trip. Thanks, Oregon. I'm back. Man, I'd love to get that set up, because I would go straight for the balls. Man, that dude pisses me off. Man, he pisses me off. He is just a creeper. Oh, definitely. It was planned. I mean, be face to face. Yeah. Yes, you're right. But I could go face to face with either one of those mofos. And I'd look them square in the eye, and I bet you one thing, they couldn't look me square in the eyes back. And I used to kind of feel sorry for Lombardo, because in some part of me feels that I mean, you had Creeper on his ass from minute one, Rouse was there. Like, so, but I wanted to be like, grow a pair, grow a pair. But obviously that didn't happen. So at a certain point, I was just like, screw you too, Lombardo. You're just as bad. So it's a very sad situation. It's disgusting. It's disgusting and it's insulting. It's insulting more than anything for me that they actually think that we're that stupid to believe their bullshit. I mean, come on. How stupid do they think we are? I think they think we're pretty self absorbed idiots, which, for the large part of, our society, everybody's on their phone and these millennials, and they don't give a shit about all this. They're just, oh, everybody should come over the border and blah, blah, blah. They're not looking at things like, and more older person, I'm going to say it, I'm old, whatever, looks at things. So, thanks, 10. I can't get into all that, but, I don't know. I don't even know if I got any of my points out tonight or not, but anyway, sooner or later, I was like, man, I got to do a live. I've got to do a live. It's just like these things are eating at me, but hopefully I will, like I said, I will certainly try to do a better job. But I appreciate all you guys watching. It's like freaking me out, like how many people are here. I think it's awesome. So I think I need to probably be getting to bed because I do have a full-time job, and so many days when I was like, man, I just want to stay home and do this, because I get on something and I was taking stuff back and forth to work, and oh my gosh. Thank you, TB. I appreciate it. I really do. Like, I am like, I don't even know what I'm doing, but I appreciate it. Love you too, Mo. Thank you. Thank you. I'm a two bear. I always have a hard time with your name. All right. Oh, thank you, Paladin. I appreciate it. I really do. Like, that means a ton. Thank you, Oregon Outback. Vienna Sausage, you were good once we had our little chat. I think you did better. Thanks, Jessica. Thanks, Ellen. I hope you're doing okay, girl. Nay, M. Namaste. Hey, Marie D. Well, should be when I go somebody's payroll for LBS. Oh, thank you, Wild Eagle. You are a sweetheart. Thank you. And I think I don't know who you are, and that's fine. Thank you, Cry Red. But I think that sometimes in live chats, people think that you're me because the NI, I don't know if you've noticed that, but I think sometimes they think that you're Nini, but just saying that. Thank you, Truth Hurts. Thank you, Debbie. I think everybody, unless I missed it, and I know I was missing a little bit of the chat, but for the most part, I think you guys did pretty good. I was like, police yourselves, okay? Because the mod things, I'm not doing that. I mean, I'm not going to do that. If you can't have enough respect to be respectful and not be a douchebag, then what's somebody with a little blue wrench gonna do? I don't know. Thank you, Fawn Spy. Charity, thank you. Thank you so much, you guys. Now, this live stream will probably go on forever because honestly, I don't know how to make it stop. Because I couldn't get it started, now I can't get it stopped. Oh, DDS. Oh, thank you, Angela G. I am like, my face hurts. I'm smiling so much. Thank you. I really appreciate it because, it would be crushing to me to think that I've put all this time into this and it's like for naught and like I'm not on the right track or whatever. So on Hangouts Live, hit stop live. Thanks, TV. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. I love you guys. Thank you. All right, now. Is that at the bottom or see? I'm not where I was when I started it. Okay. You're gonna hear some clicking probably. Thank you, Pastor. Maybe that's what I need to do. I'm going to try one thing. You might hear some clicky clicks, but oh, you guys are awesome. Oh, man. Why does that say? Oh, I started a different one. Crap. See, I don't know. I don't know if I'm still live or if you can hear me, but I think I'm just going to have to shut everything down because I don't see where I was before. I see my old one that I canceled. Friggin' A, I don't know. This should not be this difficult. I think I'm just going to have to do this. Bye, guys. Thank you. Did that work? Oh, man. Shit. Oh, there it is. I'm sorry. Oh my gosh. Bye, guys. I think I found it.